Hey guys, what's up? It is a greenhouse day for me today. I am repotting all my tomatoes and peppers. They are back here. I have my trays of pots ready to be filled. I actually swapped this year to 2.5 inch square pots. I was using 3 1/4 inch pots, but they just are a little bit too big for where I'm starting my plants now. So I have these trays and inserts. I get these from Greenhouse Megastore, and these inserts can actually fit 32 pots in each insert. So I use these inserts in my 10-20 trays just to help keep the pots upright when I bottom water so they don't kind of float around in there. So I have a bucket here with some potting soil in it, and I'm just gonna get this wet with some water and just kind of moisten it up a little bit. I don't like to use like dry potting soil when I repot plants. I like it to be just a little bit moist, just so it can retain some moisture and so those plants don't shock when you transplant them. So I'm just kind of breaking this up with my hands a little bit, and then I'm just gonna pour some water in here and mix it up, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. I pretty much put the same amount of water. I make it the same consistency as I would when I would start seeds. So I just want it to be moist to the point where it will hold together, but not like sopping wet. You basically just want it to be able to hold water for those plants when you transplant them. Needs a little bit more. I'm just using an empty gallon jug to haul water around. I am in the greenhouse now, but the last time I did this, I did it in the garage because it was too cold outside. Today, right now it's 45 degrees outside. In here, it is 75. I do have one of the windows open up here. That's what this is the window. You can see it. The window is open. This greenhouse is made out of one cattle panel and greenhouse plastic, and then we kind of built a frame for it. I have a video that shows how we made it. I'll put that down below. But yeah, so I have not really, I've been putting the plants out here during the daytime, and then bringing them in at night. Our nighttime lows have still been a little too cool for my comfort when it comes to leaving my plants out overnight. They have stayed out a few nights, but they're not staying out here consistently yet. And so I've been kind of putting off up potting everything because they're not staying out here, but I can't wait anymore. I have to get them up potted, so that's what I'm doing today. Potting my tomatoes and my peppers. I have some flowers in the house too, but those are fine. I just started those a couple weeks ago. So I have my soil ready. This is kind of what you want. I just squeeze this in my hand and it's kind of staying together. But if I squeeze it, like no water's coming out. So that's kind of what I shoot for. I also try to like break up any clumps in the soil so it's nice and fluffy. So when I put those seedlings in, they don't have to fight through any clods or sticks or anything like that. I'm out of potting soil. Empty, so I gotta go get another bag. I'll be right back. So this is the potting soil I use. It's called Pro Mix. I get this at Menards. You can get it other places, but the only place I can find it here locally is Menards. I like to buy it in the 1 cubic foot bag. Now it comes in a 2 cubic foot bag, but it's like a compressed like rectangular block, and you kind of have to like break it apart and then crumble it up with your hands, and I really don't like doing that. I have bought that before when they've been out of the 1 cubic foot bags, but this bag is a lot easier to deal with and to use. Let me open this up and I'll show you what I mean. So the 2 cubic foot bag is great, but you have to break it up with your hands a lot. When you open up the 1 cubic foot bag, it's already ready to go. It's already nice and soft and fluffy. Now there will be some clumps. Like here's one, but they break up super easy. So that's why I like the smaller bag. So if you are looking for something that is organic and is not a Miracle-Gro product, this Pro Mix is what I suggest. It's relatively inexpensive. I can also get the Fox Farms potting soil. I have not tried that, but it is more expensive than the Pro Mix, and I know I like the Pro Mix, and so before I spend more money on something that I don't know if I'm gonna like, I get the Pro Mix. So I'm gonna mix up some more soil. Okay, so I have my tray filled and I have my tomatoes out here. This is what I'm gonna do first. Now, arguably, these plants do not look very good right now. I'm not gonna lie, they do not look great. But they will be fine. They are really purple. I don't know if you can tell, but they're very purple. The undersides of their leaves are extremely purple. They need some food. So they have been in this little 72 cell tray since they germinated, and which was about 2.5 weeks ago at this point, maybe. And that's just kind of a long time for them to be in this situation. I do have some roots starting to come through the bottom of the tray. So we're gonna repot these babies into their new home. This potting soil has more nutrients in it, but I'm also going to water them with this, which is a fertilizer tea I made. I will have to dig the bag out and tell you which fertilizer this is. This is a Dr. Earth fertilizer. I really like this stuff. It does not smell as bad as some of the fish fertilizer does. And I just make a fertilizer tea out of it and use it to water my seedlings. I do it like half strength, let it sit overnight in the water, and then just use it like that. So I'm gonna get these babies planted, replanted, and I'll show you what I mean when I say they are really purple once I get one out. So with these 72 cell trays, these are really easy. They're like the ones you buy at the nursery in the little 6 cell. You just kind of squeeze it and then just pull it out. And I just broke all the roots off of this tomato plant, but it's okay. It's not an exact science. So then all I have to do is take my little pot here. And the way I make my holes is I just stick my finger down in the middle, make a little hole, and then take my plant and shove it in. Now, the thing with tomato plants is you can plant them really deep and they will just make more roots. So what I'm gonna do with these guys is plant them pretty deep so they have a stronger root system when the time comes to plant them out. So that's that's what I'm gonna do. So this one has a better root system on it. I got the whole pod instead of just the top part. So these are all the roots. This is an Abe Lincoln. So all I'm gonna do is take my finger, make a little hole, and then normally what I like to do, I don't have an empty anything, but I like to try and like take off this like crusty soil if there's any at the top, just to give it a better chance of, you know, making new roots. And then I literally just push it down in there and then pack the soil around it. And I can add more soil to these pots if I need to later also. So switch varieties. These are Amana Orange. I need to make some more markers because I only have the ones from these trays, which are, I don't put a marker on every plant in my 72 cells. The thing with tomato plants to remember is you do not have to be super precious with them. I'm not being really careful with these. Obviously I'm trying not to like break them, but I'm not being, like this one took almost no soil with it, but I'm just gonna make a little hole and shove it down in there. And it will be totally happy. So there's one row done. Let's fill the rest of this tray up. Okay, so there's two in this one. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of push off that hard potting soil at the top, just kind of loosen the roots up a little and just gently kind of pull them apart like that. And now you have your two plants. Okay, well, I filled a tray and I still have like half my tomatoes left to replant. So I'm gonna fill the rest of some of these pots up with some soil. Just add some more potting soil to the top of some of these. And then they will be good to go. So all I'm gonna do now that I have them planted is I'm gonna take some of this fertilizer tea. So I'm gonna water these with this fertilizer tea. I'm not gonna give them a whole bunch of this. I'm gonna do probably half this and half just regular water. And then they can have some more nutrients. So the thing I love about these trays and bottom watering is that I can just pick up the insert with the pots, pour the liquid in, the water, the fertilizer, the whatever, and then sit them back down. Actually, I am gonna give them a pretty good drink of fertilizer. Since they are looking a little puny, I'm gonna give them quite a bit. So, put this back down in here, and then get the rest of these babies up potted. I have more than I thought I did, but that's okay. I'm happy with my germination. There's a couple varieties that I really didn't do as great as I thought they were going to, but it's okay. So I'm gonna keep planting, and then we'll see how many trays I end up with at the end of all of this. Okay, so I ended up with 2 trays of tomatoes, a tray of peppers, and then I moved some of my creeping thyme. Everything has been bottom watered, so like this tray looks really dry, but it won't be here in about 15 minutes or so. You can see it's already starting to pull up to the top from the bottom in these. So they've been bottom watered and fertilized, and they should be good to go out here. So that is greenhouse time for me. It is bright in here. Everything is replanted, which makes me super happy. I am gonna go clean myself up. I smell like tomato plants and soil, and I'm not mad about it. And get everything else moved out here. I have a couple more trays in the house, but I couldn't put them all in here and repot. So I'm gonna get everything else moved out here and then, yeah, give them a day in the greenhouse to soak up some sun. It is almost 80 degrees in here now, so perfect temperature for the greenhouse. Thank you so much for watching. Things are happening, spring is here, and hopefully over the next couple weeks these plants will just take off and be huge. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.